Brian and I have been friends for a long time. We've done business together for a long time. He is my preferred lender whenever somebody contacts me asking me for a source to turn to. So we've got a great relationship. I have ultimate respect for him. He is at the top of his game, and I know he's dealing with this whole forbearance environment on a daily basis. So Brian, I'm really anxious to hear kind of your assessment of this whole now extension of the forbearance side and some of the impact to underwriting and things of that nature. So I'm going to let you take it away.
It is a sensitive topic. It's tricky. It's a few things because obviously, it started out in the beginning of COVID as a life raft, right? They were just trying to help people out who were potentially in a bad financial spot, which was the right thing to do to give them temporary relief. But of course, they start to write the rules of what happens if you take forbearance after the fact. And it can become a little tricky to the consumer on the effect. It can become very tricky to the lender on how to approach it because they are writing the rules as they're making it happen. And so it's a little subjective. I think the two biggest things on a mortgage side, on the impact side, first off is, when you look at the back end on the servicer and the investor side, forbearance is a great thing for any homeowner that needs it. It's a bad thing for a servicer. They're in the business of making money by collecting payments on the interest to make sure that their companies can run and function and there's their profit there. So if you are an investor and all these people are in forbearance, what the immediate effect is that they shrunk down the guidelines and tried to eliminate the risk on borrowers that they think are potential high risk because they don't want any more COVID loans going into forbearance because then therefore obviously no payments are being collected. So financially, it was a tricky thing because you want relief for people, but if your job and how you make a living is to collect payments, kind of a gift and a curse. Second part about forbearance and guidelines, it was tough because again, it's a moving target. The government relieved everybody and then people took it because they needed it, but lenders didn't know how to handle it because it wasn't written in stone. So it's changed shape a few times on how it affects the guidelines. Right now there's no hard effect, meaning if somebody's in forbearance, it doesn't fully disqualify them from getting a home loan. Lenders just want to know why, but obviously if they want to refinance or something, they just need to get caught up on the forbearance. That's always the tricky part, right? Forbearance equals financial problems in the eyes of a mortgage company or a lender, and they don't want that. So they're eligible to refinance as long as they get caught up on the forbearance payments. But obviously, most people that are in forbearance can't afford the payment. So it's kind of a, catch-22 that they want to make it work and they want to get caught up. That'll get them eligible and everything's fine. But a lot of times they don't have the money. I agree with what the other gentleman said that, if the problem with the forbearance is they don't know where the finish line is and what's going to happen. If somebody can't make $1,000 a month payment and they were in forbearance for 6 months, when it comes out of forbearance, they're going to owe $6,000. They probably don't have it. Or even if they had it, they're not going to want to dump it all back into the servicer because then they're broke again. So what does the servicer do? Do they call the note due and foreclose? Or do they try to restructure it to where it's kind of wrapped onto the back of the mortgage loan, similar to an auto wrap, to where it kind of relieves the people of that and they start back fresh on the payment? What does that look like? We don't know. It's still in the works. I don't think lenders truly want to foreclose on properties. They want to make it work for the homeowner, and obviously they want to go through the legal process and lose money and start everything over. But at some point, there's a line in the sand to where investors have to make a decision on the existing forbearance agreements. And I think that's still to come, but that's currently in the works.